The future of warfare is taking a bold leap forward, and it's all thanks to one incredible innovation: the anti-gravity Kamikaze drones. Designed to defy the limitations of traditional aerial combat, these drones are poised to revolutionize the battlefield in ways the world has never seen before. With the United States leading the charge, these drones are set to become a game changer, capable of striking with speed and precision that traditional weaponry can't match. What makes anti-gravity Kamikaze drones a game changer for the future of warfare? How will the United States leverage this innovative technology to outpace traditional combat strategies on the battlefield? Join us as we uncover how these drones operate and what makes them so deadly. Kamikaze drones are a new breed of weapon that can stay in the air and patrol an area until a target is detected. Unlike traditional drones, which focus on surveillance, these weapons carry warheads that are designed to crash into and destroy their targets. By loitering in the vicinity, they provide military forces with a faster response time, ensuring that high-value jets don't need to get close to dangerous zones. The drones can also change their course mid-flight or abort the mission entirely, giving operators flexibility in real time. Once launched, an unmanned combat aerial vehicle works differently. It's built to fly out, drop weapons, and return home for another day. Unlike cruise missiles, they can circle an area for hours, feeding their handler with live information. This capacity provides a great advantage. If a target moves under cover, operators can wait it out. If civilians are present, the attack can be delayed until they leave. The concept of loitering munitions dates back to the 1980s, when they were first used in operations to suppress enemy air defenses, particularly targeting surface-to-air missile systems. By the 1990s, military forces had deployed them for special roles. Their potential soon expanded, and in the 2000s, loitering weapons started being developed for more diverse applications. These included long-range strikes as well as tactical, short-range battlefield operations, with some models small enough to fit into a backpack, making them incredibly versatile. The first loitering munitions had a few interesting early versions. The US AGM-136 Tacit Rainbow program is often seen as one of the first major steps in developing this technology. Israel also made significant contributions during the 1980s with the development of Delilah variants. Similarly, Iran's Ababa-1, whose exact production timeline remains uncertain, played a role in advancing this technology. Before these weapons received their loitering munition designation, military developers struggled with classification terminology. The AGM-136 shifted between various labels, sometimes categorized as an unmanned aerial vehicle, other times as a cruise missile, or occasionally as a standoff weapon. A 1988 article captured this confusion perfectly. It described the Tacit Rainbow as a pilotless jet that could stay high in the sky, waiting before swooping down to destroy enemy radar sites. Imagine a high-stakes game of detection and evasion playing out across Cold War battlefields. Soviet engineers developed formidable surface-to-air missile systems, the 75 and 125, capable of striking American aircraft with alarming precision. In response, the United States countered with the AGM-45 Shrike, a smart missile designed to home in on enemy radar signals and destroy the fixed missile sites before they could launch. But the Soviets did not give up that easily. They created mobile missile launchers like the two K-12 Kub that could quickly move to new positions and only turn on their radar when ready fire, making them nearly impossible to track. This unhealthy game of hide-and-seek created a desperate need for a new kind of weapon, one that could patiently hide in the sky, scanning for enemy signals and striking only when the perfect moment arrived. This need was what gave birth to loitering munitions. One of the most important moments in how these weapons evolved came during Israel's 1982 Operation Mole Cricket 19. In this operation, Israel used a mix of unmanned aerial vehicles, air-launched decoys, and other tactics to trick and overwhelm enemy surface-to-air missiles. These strategies were designed to force the enemy to turn on their radar systems, which were then targeted by anti-radiation missiles. The success of this operation showed the United States how loitering munitions could play a key role in warfare by offering a way to counter the growing threats from advanced air defense systems. These drones come in all shapes and sizes. Some are simple, just regular drones with bombs attached. Others are fancy purpose-built machines, but they all work the same basic way. Pack explosives, fly to a target, and blow up on impact. The advanced models have better flight control, a bigger boom, and high-tech sensors to find and hit targets dead on. Some have argued that a loitering munition is just a flying bomb and that it is not super complicated. But don't underestimate them. When a swarm of kamikaze drones comes at a target, it's bad news no matter how basic they might be under the hood. The power of these munitions lies in their collective application and autonomous functionality. When multiple units operate in concert, they create battlefield effects that far exceed the sum of their basic components, demonstrating how even technologically straightforward platforms can deliver significant strategic advantages when properly deployed. While some are remotely piloted by human operators, others like the IAI Harop can operate autonomously. The Harop, for example, searches for targets and launches attacks without needing human input. Another example, the U-Vision HERO, is controlled in real time by an operator through a communication system. It is equipped with an electro-optical camera, allowing the operator to receive live images from the battlefield and make informed decisions. Not all loitering munitions are used in a one-way mission. Some, especially UAVs with secondary explosive capabilities, have the option to return to their operator and be recovered if they are not used in an attack. This feature gives the operator more flexibility, as they can avoid wasting valuable resources if the mission is called off or the target is no longer a threat. These systems can be especially useful in situations where the target changes or new intelligence is received during the mission. However, not all loitering munitions offer this recovery option. Systems like the Delilah are designed to be expendable, meaning they self-destruct if the mission is aborted or the target is not engaged. These munitions are built for missions where a direct strike is expected, and any deviation from that course destroys the drone. This ensures that the weapon is not wasted, but it also means that there is no option for the operator to reuse the device if the mission changes. Since the spring of 2022, Russia has been deploying Zala Lancet drones in Ukraine, targeting enemy artillery with deadly precision. In response, Ukrainian forces have adapted by building protective cages around their artillery pieces, using materials like chain-link fences, wire mesh, and even wooden logs. These makeshift defenses are designed to disrupt the Lancet drones, with reports suggesting that such efforts have saved Ukrainian equipment. Ukraine's drone sniping tactics are just one part of the ongoing battle for air superiority. While they are busy taking potshots at Russian drones, the Russians are fighting back with electronic warfare. The Stupor anti-drone rifle is a key weapon in Russia's arsenal. It blasts out an electromagnetic pulse that scrambles a drone's GPS, leaving it lost and confused. No fancy navigation, no problem. And the Russians have been putting their electronic warfare units to good use. By spring 2022, they were knocking out or shooting down a whopping 90% of Ukraine's drones. That's some serious drone destruction. How do they do it? By jamming GPS signals and radio communications? It's like kicking the drone's eyes and ears out all at once. So while Ukraine's playing the sniper game, Russia's going high-tech with gadgets and electronic wizardry. It is a full-on duel for drone domination. Both sides have increasingly turned to electronic warfare as a countermeasure against FPV drones. Ukraine has equipped its trenches and vehicles with jammers, while Russia has developed portable jammers small enough to be carried by soldiers in backpacks. As of June 2023, Ukrainian forces were reportedly losing anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 drones a month. That works out to around 160 drones every single day. Losing that many drones drives home how hard it is for Ukraine to keep control of their drone operations during this war. In response to these challenges, Russia has developed wire-guided FPV drones, a shift designed to make them immune to jamming. These drones, using fiber optic cables for guidance, ensure a stable link between the operator and the drone, even in areas where radio contact is weak. This technology provides faster and clearer updates from the drone while keeping the operators and drones' locations hidden from enemy signals. However, these wire-guided drones come with trade-offs, including reduced range, payload, and maneuverability compared to their wireless counterparts. To counter this, Ukraine has turned to autonomous drones capable of continuing their mission even when jammed, as seen in March 24. when a Ukrainian FPV drone, despite losing operator control, successfully hit its target. Big news hit on the 21st of March, 2024. Someone got a video of the Russian sub-Tula decked out in slat armor. It looked like they put that on to protect against drone attacks. This was huge. It was the first time anyone had seen an ocean-going Navy ship fitted with this kind of defense against drones. Navies are starting to realize they need new ways to defend against the threat of drones and robot weapons. The Tula's slat armor is a big sign of that. It showed that militaries are adapting, coming up with new armor and defenses as drones become a bigger deal in war. When comparing cruise missiles, loitering munitions, and unmanned combat aerial vehicles, several important distinctions become apparent in their design philosophy and operational capabilities. Cruise missiles are designed as expendable, one-time use weapons. They feature built-in warheads and typically execute a stealthy final approach to their targets. Their operational profile doesn't include loitering capabilities, as they are optimized for direct flight paths to predetermined targets. These systems generally have limited sensor suites for target acquisition and minimal in-flight control options once launched. Their design prioritizes longer range and higher speeds, making them ideal for striking distant fixed targets with precision. Loitering munitions, in contrast, while also expendable and single use, introduce the critical capability of loitering over potential target areas. Like cruise missiles, they contain built-in warheads and typically employ stealthy terminal approaches. However, they differ significantly in their comprehensive sensor packages that enable active target acquisition and their extensive in-flight control capabilities. These systems operate at lower speeds, but compensate with the ability to patrol an area while searching for targets of opportunity. Unmanned combat aerial vehicles are a whole different ballgame. They are not like the Kamikaze drones that just fly one-way missions and blow up. They are meant to be reused, flying out and back again. They don't have built-in bombs. Instead, they carry weapons that they can drop when needed. They are not as sneaky when they approach targets compared to the drones specifically designed for strikes. Where they shine is how long they can hang around an area, the high-tech sensors they have, and how much control operators have over them during flight. They can't fly as far as one-way drones since they have to come back home, but they make up for it by being able to stay in the air a lot longer. So while kamikaze drones are all about flying far and blowing up, UCAVs are more like the workhorses. They can loiter, spy, and drop bombs, all while being controlled by someone far away. It's a different approach, but one that's useful for certain missions. The Block 4 Tomahawk cruise missile is a great example of what these missiles can do. It can fly 1,600 kilometers at a speed of 880 kilometers per hour. That's pretty fast for a missile. Not supersonic, but not slow. It's powered by a turbofan engine that pushes with a force of 3.1 kilonewtons. That engine keeps it in the air for around 2 hours. This missile is not lightweight. When it's fully loaded, it weighs 1,588 kilograms. And a big chunk of that, 450 kilograms, is the warhead. That's the boom at the end. Size-wise, it's 6.25 meters long. The wingspan isn't huge, just 2.67 meters. That's because it's built for speed, not for hanging around in the air for a long time. The IAI Harop is a good example of a loitering munition. It can fly 1,000 kilometers, but it's not as fast as the Tomahawk. It tops out at 190 kilometers per hour. But here's the thing, it can stay in the air for 6 hours, triple what the Tomahawk can do. That's thanks to its Wankel engine, which puts out 37 horsepower. All that time in the air means it can hunt for targets. It's a lot lighter than the other two drones we looked at. Fully loaded, it weighs just 135 kilograms, and its warhead is 23 kilograms. So it's light, but it still packs a punch. Size-wise, it's 2.5 meters long with a 3-meter wingspan. That shape helps it fly efficiently, but also loiter around when it needs to. So while it can't fly as fast as the Tomahawk, the Harop makes up for it with longer flight time and good loitering ability. It's built to hang around, find a target, and then dive in for the kill. The MQ-1 Predator UCAV can fly 1,100 kilometers. It tops out at 217 kilometers per hour. The engine is a 115 horsepower Rotax 914F. It's a beast. Keeps the drone up for 24 hours straight. Fully loaded, this thing weighs 1,020 kilograms. It can carry 204 kilograms of weapons. We're talking Hellfire missiles, Griffin missiles, serious hardware. The Predator is 8.2 meters long. The wings are 16.8 meters wide. That's what gives it all that airtime. Leaves room for plenty of sensors too. So yeah, the Predator goes far, goes fast, and hits hard. It's a force to be reckoned with in the sky. These three systems represent distinct approaches to unmanned aerial weapons technology. Each system addresses specific operational requirements in modern warfare, with selection depending on mission parameters, target characteristics, available infrastructure, and budgetary constraints. While almost any UAV could be piloted to crash into a target, and most could be modified with improvised explosive warheads, their main purpose is different. UAVs and UCAVs are typically designed for recoverable operations, such as reconnaissance or carrying munitions. One example of a purpose-built loitering munition is the NCSIST Qianxiang, a system designed for one-time use. They are built to reach the target area and strike with precision before self-destructing. These munitions are designed with characteristics that favor a short engine lifespan, silent operation during the strike, and a quick, effective dive. Their focus is on loitering time rather than range or speed, making them ideal for one-off missions. The primary advantage of loitering munitions is their low unit cost, which makes them suitable for disposable missions. Unlike UAVs, which are multi-use platforms with higher costs, loitering munitions are specifically engineered for expendable use, making them an economical and effective solution for precise strikes. This unique design allows for specialized missions where cost and effectiveness are paramount, ensuring that the munition serves its purpose without the need for recovery or reuse. The use of loitering munitions that can decide to attack on their own, without human control, raises big moral, ethical, and legal problems. Unlike regular fire-and-forget missiles, which are aimed at specific targets, these systems make their own decisions without a human deciding when to strike. This lack of human involvement, especially when it comes to dangerous attacks, makes people worry about who is responsible if something goes wrong and if targets are wrongly hit. This issue has become a major topic in discussions about international law. Unlike other guided weapons that acquire targets after launch or use sensor-based triggering, autonomous loitering munitions feature significantly extended flight duration, enabling independent target acquisition. Traditional missiles typically target areas with confirmed enemy presence, whereas loitering munitions are deployed to regions with potential enemy activity, conducting prolonged surveillance and target identification operations that may extend for hours. Although some systems may request final authorization from a human operator before attacking, the decision-making process is largely automated, raising concerns over control and the potential for unintended consequences. The IAI Harpy and IAI Hareup are often mentioned in discussions about autonomous loitering munitions. These systems are among the pioneers in setting standards for autonomous flight and targeting functions in aerial systems. These drones last longer and work more independently than typical cruise missiles. They can wait in an area, look for targets, and decide when to attack without a person directly controlling them. While not exactly like naval mines, they represent a big step forward in how long and how well autonomous weapons can operate. As military technology advances, the ethical concerns surrounding autonomous loitering munitions continue to spark heated discussions. These drones' ability to make their own decisions on the battlefield challenges current systems of accountability and raises tough questions about the future of warfare. As these powerful technologies become a part of modern military tactics, it will be essential to carefully balance efficiency, control, and the protection of human life moving forward. Thanks for watching. While you are still here, click on the link on your screen to check out another of our videos. See you there.